Most Americans aren't failing, the system is. But the smart ones? They're adapting fast.
This video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research.
Most Americans live fine until one tiny emergency flips their entire life upside down.
Paychecks arrive, disappear instantly, and leave nothing before the next one shows up. Rising rent squeezes budgets so tight, even tiny surprises explode into disasters.
Groceries cost more every month, and families quietly remove items from their carts. Credit card APRs above 25% make every mistake 10 times more expensive. Medical bills hit hardest. One urgent care visit can break an entire month. Americans work 2 jobs and still fall behind because expenses outrun income.
But smart Americans are adapting, quietly, consistently, and before it's too late.
First, they track every dollar because guessing is how people go broke. They cut subscriptions nobody remembers, saving hundreds without losing anything. Smart Americans negotiate rent, phone plans, insurance, everything with a bill. They cook at home because eating out even twice a week burns paychecks fast.
They buy used items, cars, furniture, tools, saving thousands instantly.
Smart Americans automate investing, small amounts monthly that grow over time.
While everyone else hopes for luck, smart Americans prepare for reality. Americans switch to cheaper carriers because phone bills quietly drain whole paychecks. They use cashback cards wisely, never carrying balances that trigger deadly APR. Smart Americans keep emergency cash because job cuts hit without warning.
They avoid lifestyle inflation. Income grows, but spending stays exactly the same. Smart Americans buy used cars because new car payments crush middle-class families. They cancel auto-renew scams, apps charging silently for months or years. Smart Americans meal prep weekly because eating out destroys savings fast. They shop at Aldi, Costco, Walmart, choosing value over brand loyalty. Smart Americans freeze food to stop spoilage and cut grocery waste permanently. They buy generic products, same quality, half the cost, no ego involved. Smart Americans check prices online before buying anything in store. They repair items instead of replacing them, saving thousands yearly. Smart Americans learn one high-income skill to escape paycheck-to-paycheck living.
They avoid TikTok finance traps promising instant wealth and zero discipline.
Smart Americans invest automatically. No timing, no emotions, just consistency. They hold cash for dips, buying when others panic and sell too fast. Smart Americans stay debt-free whenever possible. Freedom beats new gadgets.
Smart Americans save small amounts steadily to cover future repairs and bills. Smart Americans stay healthy because medical debt destroys financial progress. They use libraries for books, internet, and tools, saving hundreds. Smart Americans buy energy-efficient bulbs to cut long-term electric bills.
They shop clearance racks, finding essentials at 50–70% off. Smart Americans avoid flexing online. Real wealth is private and quiet.
They learn taxes, saving thousands through credits others don't even know exist. Smart Americans avoid emotional spending. Feelings fade, debt stays forever.
Smart Americans plan weekly budgets so money stops leaking silently. They freeze credit reports to block identity theft and fake loans.
Smart Americans stop upgrading phones every year. It saves thousands.
They keep cars longer because payments destroy savings fast. Smart Americans avoid impulse buying. 24-hour rule prevents overspending. They invest in index funds because picking stocks rarely beats the market. Smart Americans track net worth monthly. It reveals real progress.
They use high-yield savings accounts, earning more without risking money.
Smart Americans avoid payday loans, the most dangerous trap in the country. They build credit intentionally. On-time payments, low balances, no mistakes. Smart Americans stay off car leases, too expensive, and zero ownership.
They avoid co-signing loans, protecting themselves from others' mistakes.
Smart Americans build side income streams, online work, freelancing, small services.
They learn money psychology because behavior matters more than math.
Smart Americans use older cars, old phones, old furniture, saving for real goals. They avoid expensive hobbies until finances stabilize again. Smart Americans cut alcohol, snacks, and junk food. They drain money quietly.
They use coupon apps and digital deals. Small savings add up fast.
Smart Americans declutter and sell unused items to raise instant cash. They build routines because systems create wealth when motivation fades. Smart Americans learn basic cooking because homemade meals beat rising food prices. They review insurance yearly to avoid paying for things they don't need. Smart Americans keep homes energy efficient to fight rising utility bills.
They avoid new subscriptions because each small fee becomes a long-term drain.
Smart Americans buy long-lasting essentials instead of cheap items that break fast. They manage money together as a family. Teamwork protects financial stability. Smart Americans avoid Amazon buy now habits that quietly destroy budgets. They use cash for small purchases. Seeing real money reduces overspending. Smart Americans choose cheaper phone models because function matters over flexing. They avoid brand new furniture. Used pieces save thousands and look the same. Smart Americans review bank fees. Many people lose money without noticing. They choose public parks and free events for entertainment instead of malls.
Smart Americans use thrift stores, saving massive money on clothing and essentials.
They avoid social pressure to upgrade. Peace is worth more than image.
Smart Americans realize slow progress still beats no progress every single time. Smart Americans focus on habits,
Because wealth comes from repetition, not luck.
They keep fridge inventory lists to stop wasting food and wasting money. Smart Americans buy seasonal produce, cheaper, fresher, and easier on budgets. They do small DIY home fixes to avoid expensive service calls. Smart Americans compare insurance quotes yearly because rates change fast. They use public libraries for free Wi-Fi, books, movies, and workspaces. Smart Americans clean their finances monthly, removing leaks before they grow. They save unexpected money instead of spending it instantly like everyone else. Smart Americans choose used appliances because new ones cost too much in 2026. They keep emergency documents organized so crises don't become bigger disasters. Smart Americans avoid letting emotions control money. Calm decisions save fortunes. They focus more on income than cutting tiny expenses. Earning more changes everything. Smart Americans plan for the long term. 5 years, not 5 minutes. They understand today's sacrifices create tomorrow's freedom. No shortcuts. And in 2026, smart Americans won't just survive. They'll finally get ahead.
Stay ahead of the market. Subscribe now and follow CoinPicker for the latest insights.